Welcome to side 2 of this special Christmas edition of the Enfield Talking newspaper. And on this side, we'll be reading some festive poems. And we start with Joan.
And Joan starts with a title called Celebration. Now, this was been written by a lady called Betty Elliott, who lives in East Bolden. And the reason I'm making a point of pointing out this to you is that the piece had been cut out of a woman's magazine, and we thought you'd like it. I'm sure you'll tell us if you don't. Soon it will be Christmas, a celebration for all to share, singing carols of adoration with friends and family there. Preparations underway, organized with special care. Pudding, mince pies, and Christmas cake add to a tempting bill of fare. Ribbons and bows adorn the gifts lying around the Christmas tree. The joy on their faces unwrapping them is worth it all to me, more especially why we celebrate the time a child was born, to show the way in peace and love on this festive Christmas morn.
And now one from Claire Bevan, and it's just doing my job. I'm one of Herod's henchmen. We don't have much to say. We just charge through the audience in a henchman sort of way. We all wear woolly helmets to hide our hair and ears, and Wellington sprayed silver to match our tinfoil spears. Our swords are made of cardboard, so blood will not be spilled. If we trip and stab a parent when the hall's completely filled, we don't look very scary. We're mostly small and shy, and some of us wear glasses, but we give the thing a try. We whisper henchman noises while Herod hunts for strangers, and then we all charge out again like nervous Power Rangers. Yet when the play is over and Miss is out of breath, we'll charge like henchmen through the hall and scare our mums to death.
This is entitled The Long Walk. No one in Europe knew what a turkey was until the 16th century, when Spanish explorers sailed to the Americas and took some of the exotic creatures they found there back to Europe. One of these was the turkey, and it is thought that the first members of this extravagantly plumed species arrived in Britain in 1526, brought by a Yorkshire navigator called William Strickland. Their arrival was such a success that when Strickland was granted a coat of arms in 1550, they included the image of a turkey. The story goes that Henry VIII, never one to turn down a square meal, was the first Briton to eat a turkey.
There you go. This poem is by someone called C.P. Pontefract. I don't know if that's a boy or a girl, but it's entitled December Days. December days are sparkling, like a glass of iced champagne, either lit by frosty glitter or cooled by sleety rain. December days are dazzling when shafts of thin sunlight glow on holly berries, which shine ruby bright. December days are merry as Christmas time draws near, filled with the joy of giving and the warmth of Christmas cheer. On the last day of December, we say a fond goodbye to the century which is fading sadly before the eye.
And we're coming to a sea and adventure side. And this one is about Christmas at sea. The sheets were frozen hard, and they cut the naked hand. The decks were like a slide where a seaman scarce could stand. The wind was a nor'wester blowing equally off the sea, and cliffs and spouting breakers were the only things alee. They heard the surf roaring before the break of day, but 'twas only with a peep of light we saw how ill we lay. We tumbled every hand on deck instanter, with a shout, and we gave her the men's topsails and stood by to go about. All day we tacked and tacked beneath the south head and the north. All day we hauled the frozen sheets and got no further forth. All day as cold as charity, in bitter pain and dread, for very life and nature we tacked from head to head. We gave the south a wider berth, for there the tide race roared, and every tack we made we brought the north head close aboard. So we saw the cliffs and houses and the breakers running high, and the coast guard in his garden with his glass against his eye. The frost was on the village roofs as white as ocean foam. The good red fires were burning bright in every longshore home. The windows sparkled clear, and the chimneys volleyed out, and I vow we sniffed the victuals, and the vessel went about.
And now this from Elizabeth Gosney of Hertfordshire, and it's headed Greetings. Ring out the bells of Christmas, ring in the season's cheer, the warmth of family greetings and friendships far and near. From nation unto nation may goodwill spread around. For those whose hearts are lonely, let kindly words be found. Ring out the bells of Christmas until the world as one. Ring out the bells of Christmas, unite the world as one. Now peace reigns in God's wisdom, his holy will be done. Let's hope so.
This is a piece by Christopher Pilling called The Meeting Place. It was the arrival of the kings that caught us unawares. We'd looked in on the woman in the barn. Curiosity, you could call it. Something to do on a cold winter's night. We'd wished her well. That was the best we could do. She was in pain. And the next thing we knew, she was lying on the straw, the little there was of it, and there was this baby in her arms. It was, as I say, the kings that caught us unawares. Women have babies every other day. Not that we are there. Let's call it a common occurrence, though. Giving birth, but kings, appearing in a stable with a, "Is this the place?" and kneeling, each with his gift held out towards the child. They didn't even notice us. Their robes trailed on the floor, rich lined robes that money couldn't buy. What must this child be to bring kings from distant lands with costly incense and gold? What could a tiny baby make of that? And what were we to make of? Was it angels falling through the air, entwined and falling as if from the rafters, to where the gaze of the kings met the child's, assuming the child could see? What would the mother do with the gift? And what would become of the child? And we'll never admit there are angels, or that somewhere between one man's eyes and another's is a holy place, a space where a king could be, at one with a naked child, at one with an astonished soldier.
This piece is entitled Snapdragon, and I don't know who it's by, but I know it's from the Book of Christmas. Sitting in the dark with only a few flames to light the room can be a magical experience. One traditional Christmas game, which was often played on Christmas Eve, made the most of this. It was called Snapdragon. After everyone had finished eating, a wide dish piled high with almonds, raisins, and other dried fruit was placed in the centre of the table. It was doused in warmed brandy. The lights in the room were extinguished, and then someone set light to the brandy. The point of the game was for everyone to dart their hand into the flames, snatch hold of some of the dried fruit, the quicker the better, and eat it. And then they did it all over again, until there was none left. Sometimes they sang a song, which describes the perils of the game at the same time. I believe it goes something like this. Here he comes with flaming bowl. Don't be mean to take his toll. Snip, snap, dragon. Take care you don't take too much. Be not greedy in your clutch. Snip, snap, dragon. With his blue and lapping tongue, many of you will be stung. Snip, snap, dragon. For he snaps at all that comes, snatching at his feast of plums. Snip, snap, dragon. But old Christmas makes him come, though he looks so fee-fa-fum. Snip, snap, dragon. Don't ye fear him, but be bold. Out he goes, his flames are cold. Snip, snap, dragon. Snapdragon was wildly popular between the 16th and early 20th centuries and is mentioned by many writers, including William Shakespeare, who called it Flapdragon, Jane Austen, Anthony Trollope, and Charles Dickens, but it has almost disappeared now for obvious health and safety reasons.
Now here we're coming to a poem written by Eleanor Fargen. She's entitled it Christmas Stocking, and that's what it's about. What will go into the Christmas stocking while the clock on the mantelpiece goes tick-tocking? An orange, a penny, some sweets, but not too many, a trumpet, a dolly, a sprig of red holly, a book, and a top, and a grocery shop, some beads in a box, an ass, and an ox, and a lamb, plain and good, all whittled in wood, a white sugar dove, a handful of love, another of fun, and it's very near done, a big silver star on top. There you are. Come morning, you'll wake to the clocks tick-tocking, and that's what you'll find in the Christmas stocking.
And now something, it's titled an Ancient Prayer. I like this one. Give me a good digestion, Lord, and also something to digest. Give me a healthy body, Lord, with sense to keep it at its best. Give me a healthy mind, O Lord, to keep the good and pure in sight, which seeing wrong is not appalled, but finds a way to set it right. Give me a mind that is not bored, that does not whimper, whine, or sigh. Don't let me worry overmuch about that fussy thing called I. Give me a sense of humour, Lord. Give me the grace to see a joke, to get some happiness from life and pass it on to other folk.
This is called Snow in the Suburbs. Every branch big with it, bent every twig with it, every fork like a white webfoot, every street and pavement mute. Some flakes have lost their way and grope back upward when, meeting those meandering down, they turn and descend again. The palings are glued together like a wall, and there is no waft of wind with the fleecy fall. A sparrow enters the tree, whereon immediately a snow lump thrice his own slight size descends on him and showers his head and eyes, and overturns him, and near inerns him, and lights on a nether twig when its brush starts off a volley of other lodgings lump with a rush.
This piece is entitled Christmas Fruit Pies. In 1942, when the Second World War seemed endless and strict rationing meant that there was little or no chance of having a decent Christmas blowout, the Ministry of Food published a leaflet of festive recipes that, it claimed, made Christmas fare hearty, appetising and tempting to look at. You will notice there is no mention of what it actually might taste like. You will also note that it requires dried fruit, although this was rationed and not always available. It would have been a case of grabbing it when you saw it. This mixture is a good alternative to mincemeat and makes for a great recipe. Warm 1 tablespoon of marmalade or jam, but this is not so spicy, in a small saucepan over a tiny heat. Add 1/4 pound of prunes soaked 24 hours before, stoned and chopped, or other dried fruit, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teacupful of stale cake crumbs or half cake, half bread crumbs, half teaspoonful of mixed spice. Stir all together until the crumbs are quite moist. Remove from the heat. Add 1 large chopped apple, also some chopped nuts if you have any. Make up into small pies or large open flan. The mixture keeps several days in a cool place, and that's how you make Christmas fruit pies. And now we're going to return to Joan, who's going to tell us where to go and when.
Let's hope I'm telling you the right place at the right time on the right day. So now I'll start straight away. Until Wednesday, December the 23rd, go to Avenue Q, Dugdale Centre, London Road, Enfield Town, at 7:45 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And there they have a puppet musical comedy inspired by Sesame Street, suitable for 16-year-olds and over. I expect lots of us remember Sesame Street, but I always thought that they were younger than 16-year-olds, but there we go. Perhaps they've changed. And it's going to cost you tickets, £17, but if you're online, it's only £16. The box office number is 0208 807 6680. And there's a stroke, and then it's www.Millfield Theatre UK. Right, well, that's done Dugdale Centre for one. Let's see what's happening next. Now, here we go. We're going on Friday, Sunday, Wednesday and Sunday, December the 27th, to the Christmas Tales at Dugdale Centre, London Road, Enfield Town. But we're told the times vary. Chickenshed Tales from the shed, their shows all hit the road, and the tickets for that are £8 each. The box office 020 88 07 6680. Now, having had that, we can then look on to Saturday. And here, and this looks very attractive because it's on one of the most beautiful places in Enfield. It's Carols for Christmas at 40 Hall in 40 Hill, Enfield, and it's at 5 o'clock. That's a lovely time to be singing carols because it's before you have a big meal and you should sound better. Traditional favourites sung by the choir of St Mary Magdalene Church, Enfield, will be introduced by the Reverend Dr. Gordon Giles. The tickets cost £10, and the box office is 0208 807 6680. Then we have our friendly stroke, and then we have www.40hallestate.co.uk. That's really good, that. Now here we go to Saturday, Monday and Wednesday. Now here we have Christmas Tales, Chickenshed Theatre, Chase Side, Southgate, at 9:30 a.m. and 11:15 a.m. And then in brackets we are told Wednesday, only 9:30 a.m. I expect by the time they come to the middle of this week, they're getting a bit tired. Festive celebration with tales from the shed for 6-year-olds and under. Well, there's not a lot of space there, is there? And the tickets for that are £8 each. Box office 0208 292 9222. I wasn't playing trains, that was a bit it's down here. 9222. Okay? Now here we're coming to Sunday. This is a long week, isn't it? Here we go. Swan and Dyer's Winter Warmer. And we're back to that beautiful place in 40 Hill, Enfield. 3 p.m. that day. Musicians Vicky Swan and John Dyer present sing-along Christmas carols and well-known music hall numbers. Their tickets are £15, but that includes a glass of mulled wine. That's enough for you to have a second glass. And then you've come to the box office. And here I'm going to read this rather more slowly. 0208 807 6680. And here we go for our friendly stroke again. And here we go into www.40hallestate.co.uk. And the next part, you have to work it all out for yourselves, I'm afraid. Until January the 3rd, there is Cinderella, the Millfield Theatre, Silver Street, Edmonton. Times vary. They're keeping that a secret, though. They don't tell us. And the tickets are £18.50, or for concessions, it's £15.50. And the box office number is 0208 807 6680. And there's just one to read, if I can read it. Oh, it's been folded over. Hang on. Oh, this is until January the 9th. The 12 Days of Christmas with a Chickenshed Rain Theatre, Chase Side, Southgate. And again, they're keeping it a secret. The times vary. So the tickets cost £11 to £20. And the box office number is 0208 292 9222. We've been there before, haven't we? Well, I hope you all have a great time. Don't forget to get plenty of change so that you can pay quickly when you want to. Or you have a happy time. Bye-bye.
Okay, Joan. Thank you for that. Okay, and now a Christmas message from Jo Collins of the Advertiser, Gazette and Herald series. And she's writing on something at the Chickenshed Theatre, which I'm going to ring to you now. A very happy Christmas to you all, and thank you so much for following our Chickenshed news over the past year. Chickenshed is extremely grateful to be a part of the wonderful borough of Enfield, and it is brilliant to know that we have the support of the local newspaper, Enfield Council, and members of this caring and thoughtful community. We are your local theatre, and so much more besides. We have been making groundbreaking theatre for more than 40 years, and our inclusive creative process is renowned nationally and internationally. We try to make sure that we offer something for absolutely everyone who comes through our doors. But if we are missing something, then please tell us so we can put it right. Our purpose-built theatre spaces play host to a huge range of productions across the whole year. We present regular shows for very young children, plus shows for families and adults, and we have a busy program of live music and comedy events too. But that's not all. We run regular weekly sessions for our children's and youth theatre members, with performance and singing sessions for adults as well. For the past 20 years, we have also offered a unique opportunity to learn and perform in a working theatre. We deliver BTEC foundation degree and full BA courses and have been rated outstanding by Ofsted. And if all that isn't enough, we have our Brothers Grill at the heart of our building, a wonderful cafe, bar, / restaurant, which is perfect for a morning coffee, a light lunch or an evening meal. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas and look forward to welcoming you to our theatre in 2016. It already looks to be a fabulous year with lots of exciting and fun events coming up. Please let us share the magic of theatre with you. Thank you again for reading my column.
So we have now reached the end of our festive programme and actually the end of Team C's outings at ETN. So a special thank you for listening from the team here, from myself, Rod,
Joan,
Beverley and Caroline.
and it's a goodbye and a cheerio. Please remember to turn over the address label in your postal packet, put the cassette into the packet and return it to us as soon as possible in readiness for the next edition, which will be on the 7th of January. And don't forget, you can call Diane de Jersey regarding any help you may require in connection with your talking newspaper. And with that, I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.